Hello, hello. Welcome back to some Make and Break. I am here with some battering rams. I was just really thinking about what I wanted to make today, and last night I was sitting in bed and I was thinking to myself, I want to make something that has a lot of textures to it, is relatively usable, and maybe I can sculpt a little bit of it. And I just sat and I thought and I thought and I thought. And eventually, I hit a battering ram. It just made perfect sense somehow. So the goal is to make just a typical little A-frame with some wheels. We're probably going to throw a couple of arrows in there, maybe put some spikes, who knows. Just a nice, simple little battering ram. And then if we have time, we're going to go ahead and make the head of it. I don't know what I want the head to look like yet. So any suggestions will be welcome. I think a ram is kind of boring, but a ram does make sense. So I don't know. We'll get there when we get there, I suppose. But this is the general idea. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump straight into it. Let me go ahead and throw the music back on, and then we'll get going. Oh, we got Blood God right away. There we go. That's pretty appropriate music to start with. So we're just going to jump straight into it. I think we're not going to think too much about this. Oh, by the way, Chaos. And by Chaos, I mean Saf. Sorry. I looked up the Chow cult, or whatever that streamer is, and I can't find them. What are all those emotes? Where are they coming from? Who is that? They're not listed on Twitch. At least not with a typical search. I couldn't find them at all. Okay, Chow Illustrations. I gotta look them up, because I love their emotes. That art style is wonderful. So that's gonna be on my list. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and build out. An amazing artist? It seems that way. I need to watch more more artists on Twitch. I don't watch a lot of Twitch, which I don't know. Depending on how you look at it, might be a little sacrilegious as a streamer. I just don't watch a lot of streams. So I think I want to try and change that. I want to just get a little bit more into the community a little bit. Why not, you know? Okay, so we're building ourselves a little guy here. Now I'm looking at a lot of these sketches, and like, this looks super unrealistic to me. This doesn't make sense. This one is a typical medieval drawing. It's an A-frame. An A-frame is very sturdy. This one is like a bridge, right? Like a bridge that you would have in a country road or something. This one's not very realistic. I just got it because I wanted to validate that there's 3 wheels on all of them. That has 3 wheels, 3 wheels, 3 wheels. This one has 4, even though this is the historical drawing. So I think 3 wheels has to be what we use. I don't want to make 4 wheels. There's no reason to make 4 wheels in my mind. So we're not going to make 4 wheels. But otherwise, that is the general rhythm of this guy. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that. And let's get into it. So there is our A-frame, and it's completely sealed. Now I got to put logs on it. Are they going to be logs, or are they going to be planks of wood? Because here they look like a mixture of both of them. But I'm thinking planks is a much better idea. So let's do planks of wood. I'm not going to do logs. That seems crazy to me. I don't know why you would use a log for something like this. Okay, let's go ahead and send this guy back just a little bit. And let's put some logs in here. Actually, I got to make some definition on this first. And beyond that, how is everybody doing today? How is everybody? What are you all up to? What are you doing? We don't want subdivision, we want solidify. Solidify doesn't look great, if I'm being perfectly honest. Do we want to solidify? I'm not sure if I love the way that looks, but we'll push forward for just a little bit. Also, the wheels don't connect to the parts that they're pushing. Why would they not be pushing the wheel? Something tells me this is not like a historical drawing. The more I look at this, the more I'm like, there's problems here. The swinging mechanism is loose, so if you try to swing it, it's going to go all over the place. There's this weird netting here, which, like, what is that shape? And there's 4 wheels, and everything else I looked up had 3 wheels. Got spooked at work yesterday because my boss called me into his office. It ended up being him telling me how much I'm going to be paid and making it official, kind of. I love that. That's a great first experience. It sounds like they're being really cool with you. It's always good to have a nice work experience with, like, a first job especially. So, good on you. You getting paid the big bucks? Should we start referring to you as a high roller? Okay, there we go. That's going to be that, and then let's put some frames in here. Now, you get paid minimum wage, which is $14.50 per hour. Holy cow. I wish that was our minimum wage. I really wish that was our minimum wage. Man. I worked a really, really messy job last. And it was the highest I'd ever been paid, and I was being paid $15 an hour. And it was the highest I'd ever been paid at a job, save for like contracting, sales sort of stuff. But yeah, so 15 was like a good job here, which is really a shame the more you sit and think about it. Also, I'm realizing that this might be a little too steep. Well, all your coworkers are nice and even got invited to dinner? Hey! I'm proud of you. That's awesome. You're killing it, dude. Look at you being a social genius. Let's dissolve those edges. I'm going to redo this one more time. I want to fix this artifact stuff, but we're going to get there in a moment. Now's not the time to be doing that. So let's go ahead and build out our actual frame part. How on earth am I going to do this? It's just planks of wood going everywhere. This one's metal beams. That seems not good. This one's just a frame. So yeah, we're gonna use this as our idea. Maybe with rope. I like the rope idea. So let's just build it. Let's just do it. We'll think about it later. Let's just do it to start with. I'm gonna make a cube. We're gonna make them nice and small. Is this gonna work? All right, let's do that. And should it stick out? I kind of want it to stick out a little bit. I think that's going to be a cool little look, but maybe that's a bad idea. Will that matter? Hey, Junie. Junie, how you doing? What's life looking like for you, Junie? Let's go ahead and pull just these guys in. Nope, just this part. Just this. What? You just updated your LinkedIn, or you're updating your LinkedIn? That's awesome. Good on you. How's it going? Are you the most employable person on Earth? What's happening? Why would scaling the X on this do that. What is happening? Okay, hold on. I'm looking at this, right? And I'm on scale, and I'm trying to scale it, and I'm scaling just the x-axis. Why is it staying a square? If you push a cube, it doesn't stay a cube. That doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. If I do this, now it works. Weird. That was weird. What's so stressful about updating your LinkedIn? What's the matter with that? That was very weird. I don't know why that was happening. That was very confusing. We'll go ahead and just push this guy on up like that. And that'll be our guy. Oops. It's like Facebook, but with people all worried about jobs instead. What do you mean? Can you explain what that means? Like you're worried about the social aspect of it? The people doing stuff and stressing and promoting their jobs and all that? Kind of? I had a small period of time where I was like pretty obsessed with LinkedIn. I really liked it for whatever morbid reason. I don't know why. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just like in on it for some reason. Okay, I have a cool idea. If we apply scale, this definitely isn't going to work. You know what? Actually, the more I sit here and think about this, the more I'm like, let's just dissolve this edge. No. Bad idea. Don't do that. If I use my head for 2 seconds, I'm going to realize that's a bad idea. Tell you what, nope, we're not doing that at all. Instead, I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to pull them down. If you can tell, I'm definitely not focused right now. My brain is not in the right place. Okay. We got that. Now, the big ticket item is you can't have space for people to get underneath here. So we're going to have to put little holes for the wheels to fit through, I think. So we'll focus on that in just a moment. Now, I should be able to dissolve this face. And if I put a mirror modifier on here, across this, which I'm going to call tint just for the time being. I don't know what I'm actually going to call it, but we're going to call it tint for right now. If we do that, just like that, and then we go into, we're going to join all of this together. Grab you, join you all together. Go back into edit mode, grab you, and we're going to bridge. We're going to say, does that look good? That looks just about perfect to me. I think that's it. I think we've done it. I think that is our wood. Okay, so what's important here is now I need to subdivide on the correct angles to make this thing look normal, which is easier said than done, I think. So here's what I think we want to do, and I could be very wrong. We're going to dissolve those edges, have that be nice and flat. That needs to stay like that. And now we put a subdivision on each of these. How is this going to work? Your LinkedIn has been updated. Time to play RimWorld while watching you on the other monitor? Of course. I appreciate that. LinkedIn is definitely a fickle beast. In my experience, LinkedIn is a lot like every other social media, which, like, big surprise. I'm pretty sure that's their goal. But it's like so much like every other social media where people like invest such a disordinate amount of time into it. And the people that spend so much time are like, yeah, I gained so much from it. And it's like, I guess maybe if you spend like 100 hours a week doing this, you get a little something out of it, but it's probably not worth that much. I had a lot of family who was obsessed with LinkedIn, and it was always just kind of like, this can't be your whole job. Like, I know you're not like making money off of LinkedIn this way. Like, it's cool if you enjoy it. If somebody enjoys it, that's fine. But I don't know, it just seems like a hole that people get into. Just like anything else. Okay, so we got 2 of these guys. If I grab you and I bevel you, doesn't that... Oh, that does work. Hold on now. You could just bevel flat edges. Oh, this is a new world I've never experienced before. Hold on. You can just bevel a flat edge. Boom. New world. New world order. Okay, perfect. And then now I gotta bevel both of these 2, and then we're done. How did this work out? Well, this is certainly pretty weird. Okay, I didn't expect it to work this easily. So, theoretically, all I gotta do now... Watch as Red learns in real time. Welcome to the stream. That has been kind of the prevailing theme here since the 3D gods created the Earth. Okay. There it is. An A-frame. Done. Am I pleased with this? I think so. Simo! What's up, Simo? How you doing, Simo? How's the job? Have you started the job yet? So I should be able to hit apply on the mirror, come down to here, and do some bridging. Okay, so if we look at our reference images, there probably is a bridge up here. I don't even know why there would be missing a bridge. You'd want this thing to be like super structurally supported. You're not sure yet if it's good. Do you want to tell us what that means? Are you allowed to tell us what that means? What do you mean by that? Assuming that you are allowed to tell us what that means. Takes time to get used to things? Got it. I mean, do you enjoy it? Is it a fun job? Yeah, that's a reasonable A-frame. Honestly, that'll do just fine. I might make it skinnier as I go, but I think it's good. Okay. Simo being the speculative one, as per the norm. I would expect nothing less of you. Oh, I messed up. I did make the frame long on purpose, but now I'm regretting that decision. Okay, we'll tell you what. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slice this guy off and slice this guy off, and we're going to do our best just to fix this. So if I grab the whole thing and I scooch it back to a position I like, right about there should be good. And then we go into here and we grab you and pull you back to about the position we like, and then we center it and we should be good. I am on trial and had another job interview on Monday, so my options are quite open. Wow. My man is confident. That's awesome. Is the other job just as good, or do you have a preference towards one or the other? That's an okay A-frame. I don't hate that. It's going to require a bit of displacement to make this all work, but I really don't hate the way that looks. So we're going to call it right there. I might add some texture to this little like overhang part, but we'll get there when we get there. I don't want to think about that yet. You think the other one would be better? Can you give us any details about the other one? Are you allowed to give us any details about the other one? I guess is a better question. Okay, so how would pushing this thing forward even work? I guess you would have... You know what? You would have leverage. Okay, I got it. I know how this works. You have leverage on multiple of these parts. And I'm going to build it as if it was real. I think it's going to be in everybody's best interest if I build this as if it was real. So let's do that. Making graphics for car dashboards. That's crazy. Are these all in your country, or are these remote positions? Because that sounds nuts, if I'm being perfectly honest. Okay, so we want it to be like that, and we want to bring it out to where the wheels will go in Finland. Okay, you got it. That's interesting. Making car dashboard graphics. Okay, let's get really close to this guy. How do you get a job like that? What did you look up to find that job? My brain's like doing the math right now, and I'm like, what? How did you end up finding that? Okay, so we're gonna call this back axle. I guess it's an axle. It's not really an axle. This is our A-frame. And then the tint. The car company has offices in multiple countries, though, and it has a possibility for traveling. Simo found it on LinkedIn. There we go. There's number 2 of LinkedIn for the day. Turns out it's a LinkedIn kind of day. Well, that's awesome. That's actually like kind of the craziest thing I've ever heard, but it is awesome. I would have never thought about making graphics for cars. You know, in the world of like things that people could do, that's not a job that I like recognize. That's kind of a crazy discipline. It's awesome. Don't get me wrong. It's very cool. It's definitely like, it fits you perfectly. But I would have never thought of it. If you asked me to imagine 100 different jobs, I'd have never come up with it. I have an alert for technical artist positions in Finland, so it's pretty easy to find those. You have a degree in it too, right? You have a degree in modeling or computer sciences or something. We're going to tint. We're going on Y. There we go. I'm going to leave that mirror there for just a moment and copy this. Get rid of the second tint, go back to back anvil or back axle, and we're going to send you to 0 on the Y. And hopefully it doesn't intersect anything. No, it looks perfect. Oh, she's perfect. Information technology engineer. What a job. What a wild sounding job. Now that I'm sitting here and looking at this, quite genuinely, now that I'm sitting here and looking at this, I guess you do want it to work this way, right? No. No, 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 no. We're going to take this back. I have a new idea. I'm constructing this. I'm going to reconstruct this. I'm going to redo the math on this and make my own battering ram. I'm making my own. And no one can stop me. It should look like that. That's the way I think it should be designed. To me, that's correct. So I'm going to do that. Because now it is within the A-frame, and what we're going to do is put handle holds for the guys to push the whole A-frame forward. Because if I put stuff on the ground here, right, if I put a bunch of random logs here on the ground, all that's going to happen is the people that are pushing in here are going to trip over them. I'm like looking at this, right? Yeah, there's nothing going through here. It's just a bunch of dudes pushing. Because otherwise you're forced to push on the outside, which you can't on the A-frame first off. And second off, you're going to get shot. That's the whole point of this thing, is that it's cover. So yeah, nope, we're doing that. We figured it out. Took us a moment, we got there. So we're going to call this mid-axle. Or actually, we're going to call it axle mid, so it stays along with this. Axle ins. Okay, mid-axle. You're going to be removed from the mirror, and you're going to be at 0. It's perfect. Looks perfect. Yeah, now you have just one here, and now you just got to put little grip holds on here, and we're done. And they're going to just hold them and push. Now, to get the actual thing swinging is going to be a scary part. I think we're going to put a few chains coming from here. Am I missing anything? We got chains. We got wheels. The wheels have to be small because we can't let anybody underneath here. Am I missing anything? I suppose we'll put like a royal emblem. I do want to do that. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab this. Pyro, what does this model need? Let me know. I'd love to know. There we go. We're going to do that. We're going to put something on there later, but we'll add it. Oh no, Pyro's here for the Hello Kitty stickers. Pyro's here for the Hello Kitty stickers. Pyro, I think you better enter the raffle at 3. At 3 Eastern Standard Time, we're starting the raffle. Hey, thank you for the hydrate, Saf. Let's hear your serious note. I'm ready for the serious note. It is a battering ram. You got it. Ooh, the grip holds on the ram is really important. That's something that's missing from this one. We're going to add the holds for sure. We need handles. Okay, so let's make a wheel. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's make a wheel. I'm going to go ahead and make a collection. Call this Battering Ram. Now, I'm going pretty fast, but I think I need to be careful that I don't lose myself here. Because the moment we start to sculpt out a head for this thing, we're gonna get in trouble. The orc contraptions from Warhammer 40k. All right, I'll grant you that. I do love me some 40k. Orc 40k. Let's see if there's anything that looks good for us. But I don't think I'm going to do any surfacing stuff yet. Contraptions. Is that what they're called? They're not called contraptions, are they? Let's see if they have a ram. Is my music louder than normal, or am I just... are my headphones high? The iron plates, I understand that. I don't know how fantasy I want to go yet. I think I'm going to keep it kind of practical and then go crazy right at the end. So I think we're going to keep it kind of simple for the time being, but I am going to keep this up on my browser. In the meantime, let's do this guy. Let's make some wheels. We're going to do the old dinner plate wheels. So, a wheel, nice and easy. Division of 24 probably could handle doing a 30, honestly. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I heard a lot that high poly models sell for more than low poly models, and that seems weird to me. But that is the conventional wisdom that I've heard. Should I get help from a former USA president? What does that mean? Please share with the class. I gotta know what that means. What is a former... I don't know. I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about at all. Oh, few Lincolns in the pocket. Yep. We know Pyro. Perhaps a Franklin? We'll have to see, I guess. First, I got to make sure that I complete the original sketch, and then we'll talk about Franklins and all that. Okay, so moving forward here, let's go ahead and post this on down. Pyro, how are you doing? I saw on Discord you were playing DayZ, which is wild to me. Sorry to call you out for that. But I haven't heard of somebody playing DayZ in a hot minute. What got you playing DayZ? Okay, so that is... good game. Have you been playing it, like, since it came out? Or, like, how long have you been playing it? Hey, Beryl. What's up, Beryl? You wish? Okay. I think we found the world's greatest DayZ fan. I don't think everybody likes DayZ the way you like DayZ. Like, it's a good game. I haven't played DayZ in a hot minute. It's been a long time. We'll say right there looks just about good enough for me. People don't like to die. I suppose that's true enough. Okay, so I can honestly just come through here and fix this up later. So if we just go straight through, there's no issue. Right? If I just take that and make faces, we're gonna need thicker faces than that, is what it is. Doing okay. Pulled my back muscle bad yesterday, but I've almost recovered. What happened? You okay? I remember when the standalone came out, it took a while to come anywhere near where the mod was. Oh yeah, for sure. DayZ has had a troubled past, to say the least. Okay, so if I take all of these and I go SZ0. I don't hate the way that looks. It looks a little weird, but I think if I just polish it up, we should be fine. SZ0. And then this is nice and easy. It's just an SX0 and an SX0. And then we go. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to say that's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I was kind of thinking it was a little thick. Maybe I'll push it in just a little bit, but I think we're actually not looking that bad here. That should be fine. Just like that. Okay, we got a wheel. Determined. Nice and set. So we just need to put a washer on there. I was stiff out of bed, made some sudden movements, ruined the rest of my day. Beryl, do you stretch often? Are you a stretching kind of person? Because stretching is crucial. You gotta stretch to live a good life. It's a shame. I wish it weren't true, but you have to. It is required. Okay, let's go ahead and build these little strips that come out here. And I'm also going to extrude and make that little ridge. I think you might be able to do this with a normal map, but I don't want to. I think it's a bad idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to nail this guy twice. Nobody take that out of context. Just like that. And then we're going to grab you, and we're going to extrude just a little bit. Just to make that little rubbery whatever bit that sticks out of the tire. And now I can grab you and put a tiny little bevel on you. Apply scale, go back. And we give it a little bevel. That should do just fine. If I look at that like this... Oh, I think it's not enough geometry to look good. I might double the geometry. I'd hate to do that, but I think I have to. I might double the geometry. I might have to subdivision this and retopo it. Oh, I don't want to do that. But I will. I'll do it. Okay, before we do that, let's go ahead and just finish off the last little bit of this cap. There's no reason not to, I think. I warmed up before exercises, but picked up my socks energetically is not something I thought about twice. Yeah, I understand that. Do you work out regularly? Or were you doing a new workout or something like that? There we go. That'll be a nice little capping point for it, and that looks good enough for me. You go jogging often? Okay, jogging. I've had this conversation with a lot of people. Jogging is good. Jogging is very good. Nothing wrong with jogging. I have my opinions about jogging, but my opinions aren't worth anything. But jogging is not like a flexibility workout, and so you got to be careful when you're jogging that you're balancing it with everything else. Why I'm lecturing, I don't even know why I'm lecturing. Why you should be taking advice from a guy on the internet who spends most of his time at a computer, maybe don't do that, actually. Disregard my opinions. Just make sure everybody's stretching out there. Y'all should stretch. If you're not stretching, shame on you. And I'm only half joking when I say that. Does that work? Or does that give us this crease line? It does give us a crease line, but honestly, I can just step this up, right? 60, problem solved. There we go. That is a little wagon wheel. That's actually a really nice looking wheel, too. Jogging sucks, unless you have a well-tuned music playlist, which I have. Okay. All right, now you got to walk us through this. What's on your playlist? Let's hear it. Let's judge your music. I am what most people would probably refer to as a music snob, which is not true. I mean, I guess it's true if you want it to be true. It's your opinion. But I like most all music. I just really dislike music that like takes away from other people's artistry. So pop music and me don't have a great relationship. Although modern pop music is getting to a better place, personally. As much as I like to say that pop music is terrible, modern pop music is actually pretty good. Save for a few people. Like, you know, you have your Bruno Marses and stuff who steal songs and then copyright them as if they were their own song. But that stuff has always existed. That's been around since the dawn of time. Techno and dubstep. Nothing wrong with techno and dubstep. I love techno and dubstep. That's perfectly fair. I think that's like perfect workout music too. There we go. So there's our first brace. I'm looking at it. The size is not correct. So I think we're going to brace it like that. Is there any reason that I wouldn't increase the size of the wood? I guess because they would just have planks on hand. If all you had were random pieces of planks, maybe you wouldn't do that. Okay, we're going to leave it like that. I think we're going to leave it like this. I think that's fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and call this thing wheel. And this guy is just going to be called wheel brace. Wheel brace has a mirror modifier on it that goes around the wheel on the z-axis. And by that I meant Y. I don't know why it's on the Y, but sure. Any reason wooden raised the size of the wood? What? What does that mean? What is that quote? Okay, let's apply scale to this guy. And now we can come into here, grab each of these faces, you and you, put a bevel on you. Really simple, light bevel. Nothing too crazy. Make sure that we have auto with a 60. Shade smooth. That looks perfect, actually. The more I'm looking at that, the more I like it. Cool. Now we put bolts on it. We put bolts, and then we stick it on the sides, and we're done. Problem solved. Okay, so let's make some bolts. A bolt is going to be a UV sphere? Yeah, we'll do a UV sphere. UV sphere. I think it's a weird UV sphere too. I think we want to be on the side here. So let me cut that. Let's do another one. We want a 24. I hate to use a 24, but I think it's correct. Also, we do want to rotate it, because if I don't rotate it, it's not going to have the correct amount of faces that we need. So we'll do that. Push it forward and make a bolt. It's you. I just messed it up because writing is hard and I forgot the crucial emotes. Did I say that? Was that a quote from me? You know, we joke about like the size of the stream and all that, but honestly, thank God I'm not a bigger streamer, because if I were, the things that come out of my mouth. I feel like I wouldn't do very well at a large size because people would just be like, what are you even talking about? Nearly every hour of every day. Which I guess just been my experience my whole life. So maybe it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so we're going to do math. Everyone's favorite thing in the world. We're going to do some math. The math is going to look like this. We're going to get this guy to a point that we like. We're going to go ahead and shrink him down to a size that we like. Right about there should be good. And then we're going to put him in a place that we like. Check our reference image. It's right at the end. That looks good enough for me. Then we pop him out. And we say, does that look good? That should be just fine right there. Should this be a normal map? Maybe. I'm not sure yet. Haven't thought that far ahead. This might actually need to be a normal map eventually, but we're not going to do that yet. So the X is 0.55, which is a nice round number for us, of course. You love how you misread the chat because your brain is the most aggressive autocorrect ever? Man. Every time I watch like VODs of streamers, not even big streamers, just people bigger than me. Whenever I watch VODs of people, you watch a streamer and they're like, they look at chat and they go, oh, you said blah, 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 blah. And the chat's going like, brr, 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 like all the way down super fast. And every time I see that, I'm like, how are they reading that? Do people just get good at reading like information going a million miles per hour? There's no way, right? You can't just be good at that. I don't know. But every time I see streamers reading stuff, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way I'll ever be able to like read that fast. I'm a fast reader. I'm a very fast reader. So unless there's some technique that I don't know how they're doing it. Maybe there's like some conventional knowledge that I'm just missing. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Also, I need to find 1/3 of 0.55. What is 1/3 of 0.55? Let's look that up real quick. Actually, you can do math in here. 0.333 times 0.55. It didn't work. I used the wrong syntax. 0.333 times 0.55. Ayo. There we go. That was nice and easy. So now I take you and we apply the mirror. And we take you and we apply the mirror. And we grab both of you. And we join. We put a mirror on here and it's going to be based off of wheel. And it's the y-axis for some reason because I don't know why. And then we hit apply. And that is our wheel bolts. Done. We're cruising. We're going a million miles per hour here. It's not even 3 yet. And I'm already like done. We're going to call this wheel. Wheel goes on wheel. Wheel bolts goes on wheel. Wheel brace goes on wheel. Look at that. That's a done deal. Now we grab them and we put them down. Does that work? Yeah, that'll work. 90 degrees. Perfect. Now we take you and we push you on over. And that's not on 0 for some reason. Why is it not on 0? Wait, what? Why are you not on 0? Okay, tell you what, we got to go ahead and redo our geometries. For some reason, I don't know why. I thought I did it correctly, but I guess I'm wrong. So let's take you, and we got to put you on 0. You go on 0, and you go on 0. Now we're good. Boom. Now we make that guy nice and small, and we push him on in. Human error is infamous. What does that mean? What do you mean human error is infamous? That's like the most like vague thing I've ever seen. Means what it says. Oh, that's a sassy response too. I love that. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. The wheel has no modifiers, no modifiers, no modifiers. What were you referring to? That's what I meant. What are you referring to? Human error is infamous? What is that a reference to? tint. We want the tint, and we want X. That'll do. So we go boom, 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 and we link the modifiers. Boom. And then we'll just do some random spins to make it look correct. But that's it. We've done it. So now I grab all these, and we're going to copy, scooch them on back, I think is gonna work. Okay, first off, get rid of the tint. Get them right in the perfect spot, and this is gonna be crucial. Actually, it looks perfect. Done deal. Okay, and now we put you back on tint. Why we copied tint, I have no idea, but that'll do. Copy modifiers, and we're there. We've done it. Oh, it can only be my doing? Honestly, you're right. Last time you checked I was human, mistake number 1 was made on this day. Never make the human assumption. I'm actually a VTuber, and this is my model. So take that for what it's worth. I would have made a more interesting model, but I couldn't afford it. So instead I just got a photorealistic dude. And that's my model. It is what it is. Actually, I don't even need to make a new modifier, do I? I can just press Y on here, right? Yeah, easy. Easy peasy. Copy modifiers, we're done, we did it. Look at him. Now, he's a little uniform looking, but we'll fix that. You can't hate that. You cannot hate that. Pretty good looking. Mobile tint unit, honestly. We're here. That's pretty good looking. Now, what he really needs is like the iron little cups that come into here and like do all that. It is well demonstrated your PC can't handle it. My PC's good. My internet freaks out sometimes. Oh, I haven't saved yet. Let me go ahead and save real quick. We're gonna save this as Battering Ram. Sounds about right to me. I like these wheels a lot. I might copy these wheels for a few more projects. As soon as I fix them, of course. Okay, so what needs to be done? The wheels are done. We can call the wheels done. What needs to happen is we need to make a brace here. On each of these little cross-sectional areas, we need a brace. I'll get there. I'm not doing that right now. I left the sound effect in, but that's fine. We need to put the holds on here. We need chains. And we need the battering ram. That's it. Then we're done, I think. It's possible we will put a little something on the front here, but I think it's a bad idea. So let's keep it like this for right now. Cool. So it's time to make a battering ram. Oh, also, I need to add... Now that's interesting. Look at how they're pushing it. This guy's got like a round thing. Why would you round the wood here? Like clearly this is like an artist's drawing and they maybe just didn't know what they were doing. Clearly they didn't know what they were doing with spikes coming out of metal. That's not how shingles work, but sure. But rounding that wood seems like a weird design decision. I'm going to say that's... I don't want to follow this one too much. Instead, let's put some pegs in here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy what we did yesterday just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and make a cylinder of 8. I think 8 is a good number. Let's do 6. I'm inclined towards 7, but we're going to stick with 6. Name your GPU and CPU. I have a 7700K and a 1070. It's a pretty good setup. I mean, I'm not saying it's the best. I'm not buying any cryptocurrency GPUs, that's for sure. But she does me well. She's a good setup. There we go. We're going to go ahead and just do this guy on a 90-degree axis. Please. Also, I have a command for my specs, by the way. For anybody who wants it, it is !specs. So, fun fact, if you need it, I got it. There we go. So, we got ourselves a little guy here. And I think I can get away with using an array modifier, if I'm being perfectly honest. Because it needs to be uniform, which is the part that I'm worried about. But it doesn't need to be uniform from the front and back. It only needs to be uniform from one angle. What's up, CQDK? It is a moving tint. That was the design challenge for the day, and I think we've nailed it. That looks just about perfect. That looks really good. Tactical moving tint. Honestly? You know what? Actually, if we're doing this correct, let's be real. This thing comes down at a weird angle because it just sticks in here, right? And then that should be a little bit better for people to move in with. Yeah, that'll be great. Oh, I have such a good idea. I know how I'm doing this. Okay, get rid of... That should be up in the battering ram. Hello, 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 Mr. Six. How are you doing, Mr. Six? These are going to be grips. I'm just going to call them grips. We're not going to think too much about it. That's just a grip. Unicorn, you know me. The unicorn boy. I don't mind being the unicorn boy. It's a role I've done well in my life. There we go. Boom. We got that, and then we're going to go ahead and do a linear proportion, just like that. Same as last time, and let's do a 180 angle. Actually, let's go full 360. What? Am I not looking at this correctly? That looks good to me. Why would I change that at all? Should I change this? Let's do a 180 again. Yeah, 360 for sure. Look at that. A little bit anxious. I have a huge test tomorrow. What's the test on? What do you need help with? How am I doing? I'm all right. It's been a little bit of a weird day. Just is what it is, I guess. Nothing too crazy, but, you know. Phonology. Is phonology the sound of language? I want to say phonology is the sounds of language. Would that be correct? That looks really good. Okay, we're getting good at these little twisty metal bits. This is the new steez right now. And what I'm going to do is go back to global, and we have proportion turned on with maybe a smooth, I think. And I go like that. Okay. The sounds that we produce, all the vocals, consonants, the IPA thing. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Have you studied? Do you feel prepared for the test? Are you doing a good job? Let's do 50. Let's do 60. 60 looks all right to me. I say that, and I'm kind of like, maybe I just take it for what it's worth. Maybe I just do that, right? Because that does look good. And we just come up a little bit. I studied a little bit more today. Okay. Can't be too upset at that. What's making you anxious then? Do you have just like a general anxiety of tests, or do you have like feelings that you're not going to pass for some reason or another? Do you struggle with the subject? Like, what's making you feel that way? Okay, no more proportion. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna grab this, and we're gonna put a nice little bevel right on the end here, which didn't work because we didn't apply our scale, and now we apply our scale and we come back, and then we do it again. And we got ourselves a spike. Now, why would you have a spike inside? You struggle with people judging me by my abilities? That's a fair opinion. It's a very fair opinion. Well, I would argue that sometimes in situations like this, that's kind of the point, is that people are trying to judge you. And if that's the point, then I like to get kind of competitive. I don't know if this is good advice or not. I don't even know if you want advice. But I like to get kind of competitive and be like, you know what, I'll prove you wrong then. I like to kind of show people what's what if they're trying to judge me or whatever. But that's my ego getting the best of me, I suppose. So I don't know if that's good advice for anybody other than myself, but that is how I deal with pressure, is I kind of get a little competitive. Okay, that looks fine. We're gonna go back to object mode. We're gonna apply scale one more time. We're gonna go ahead and do a little bevel on here. What if you lose? I mean, embrace failure, you know? Failure is good for you. Like, just to put this energy out there, I don't know if this is helpful. I don't know if anything I ever say is helpful for anybody, but just to put this energy out there, I changed majors in college a bunch of times after having already decided what I wanted to do and getting most of my degree done. So I wasted a bunch of time, a bunch of money. It was just a stupid decision altogether. But I just did it because I didn't want to do what I was doing with my life. My first year in college, I got an F in a math class, and math has always been the thing that I excel at. And I had to go take it home and get it signed by my parents. I've lost large amounts of money due to stupid stuff. I've lost relationships with people that I felt very connected to. I've had a lot of failure in my life, and I'm not bad for where I am right now. Like, I'm not upset. I'm not sitting with a big like anchor on the back of my foot. Like, you just fail sometimes. It makes you who you are. I wouldn't be doing all this if I hadn't failed before. I wouldn't be making art on the internet. And you can argue whether the art on the internet matters or not, but like, I wouldn't be doing this at all if I hadn't failed. So I'm kind of happy I did, because I like this. I like this stuff. So I'd say embrace failure as much as you can handle. It's definitely scary, obviously. And I'm not saying like, you know, oh, just get over it, because that's the worst advice anybody could ever give you. But like, just embracing it is a pretty nice thing. Okay, here comes some failure. Barrel's giving me an analysis of my computer based on an offhanded comment from earlier. I've researched your system, and your processing is comparable to mine, and it is decisive. You are not a VTuber. Should one abandon common sense? You're saying that a system like mine couldn't run VTuber software? Or you're saying a system like mine couldn't render like photoreal humans? Because I can definitely run VTuber software. I have. But as far as like rendering humans, yeah, no, there's no way. Okay, so we got the array set up. Do I hate the way that looks? I don't know. Wait, are those rope? No, they're supposed to be pieces of iron that stick out. It does look weird, doesn't it? Let's put it on the tent real quick. That does look weird. The guys have to push something. This is where the people push to move the cart forward. Yeah, I think you're right, Beryl. I'm with you on that one. Do I still have the orientation of this thing set up? I do. Perfect. I think it looks better straight on like that. So we're going to keep it straight. The angle was conveying that it was kind of a weird thing. So let's do that. This will be fine. Just like that. Perfect. There we go. And the more I look at this, the more I'm like, that's too many of them. So I'm going to come back to here, and we're going to say maybe 8 people could operate this. Do we want 8 or 10 people? I'm going to say 8. Although 10 gives you the idea if somebody dies, you could still run it. We're going to say 10. 10's going to be it. It's got to be 10. So we'll do that with a -9 set as our distance between each guy. It's just not enough space, though, is the thing. All right, 8 it is. I think 3 people could push this alone, or 6 people could push this alone. So we'll let one person be the little scapegoat at the front. Sure, that's it. That's our setup. Maybe you got to get 2 people with shields to walk in front. I don't know. I'm not sure how these things work. That looks good enough for me, though. Sure, that's it. Okay, cool. Let's make the battering ram. We're missing just a few pieces, but otherwise, I'm good. So, a battering ram. Do I have any ideas of what sort of creature we want on the front of the battering ram? A shark is not a crazy idea. I kind of like the way the shark looks. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a log. I'm definitely not going to do that one. Battering rams are made big enough to be used by as many as 30 men. Okay, well here we have 32, which is correct. This is a small battering ram. A minotaur. I like a minotaur. Color me kinda in on the minotaur. Why did battering rams have so many people? Aren't those iron rods too high? So the general idea for the iron rod was that this wasn't as big as it is. But I see what everyone's saying. Bonk go to horny jail? We need a bonk command. All right, I'm adding the command horny jail to... We're adding bonk. I'm going to add bonk. Thank you for the inspiration. We're going to add a bonk command for sure. All right, I see everyone's point. I see your point, and I'm going to take the point to heart. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. If anything, at least I am open to criticism. Hey, thank you for the hydrate. Very appreciated. I was trying to drink out of the mug end. Make command pyro no and pyro yes. SpongeBob is my inspiration. I think I have to learn a new language to be able to talk to you, Pyro. You got wild energy. I like it. Don't get me wrong. That's not me making fun of you or anything like that. I like the energy. I just don't get it. It's in a different world for sure. Okay, cool. So we're here. I can pop one right there, pop one right there. Pop, 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 pop. Hop on pop. Poland is a different world. You are Polish. Now the brain is working. Now my brain is working on something. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. I'm going to think about this one. What about a ram on the end of the log? I'm thinking about ram, but ram is maybe a little too obvious. You need a lot of force to break through an oak steel reinforced door, hence a lot of men. Something with horns. I like the idea of horns. Okay, so let me share one that I thought of last night that I was like, no, not doing it. It's a bad idea. I was thinking the Hercules beetles with the horn that comes up. I was thinking a Hercules beetle was cool, but ultimately you would just break the ram the first time you used it. It wouldn't be like structurally sound enough. So I decided against it. I strongly decided against it, despite the fact that it's kind of a cool idea. Also, we're still on wheels, aren't we? What is this? Cylinder? Get in the battering ram. We got the wheels. We're in the battering ram. Get out of wheels. Do not do wheels anymore. Okay. Hercules beetle with explosives on the end, so it gets stuck and explodes. You know, there's one thing that comes up a lot when I 3D model, and it's fair. It's very, very fair, and it makes a lot of sense, but it's something that I am vulnerable to some degree. Everybody loves sci-fi stuff. And I don't really make sci-fi stuff. I've had a couple of instances where I've done it. But I'm so much more into like historical, magical, mystical, that kind of stuff. A Hello Kitty ram? Now we're talking. The Hello Kitty ram? That's what actually the medieval period was known for. Ye olde Hello Kitty. That was when Hello Kitty became popularized, I believe. Was what was it, like 1425 or something? Hello Kitty came out. Those were the days. All right, let's go ahead and delete that. We're going to delete these guys. Let's not do that yet. Let's go ahead and join these faces together first. All right, here we go. Just repairing our faulty little mesh that we made. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I actually kind of like the way that looks, though. That's a cool little join right there. First recorded occurrence was 1342 when the Hello Kitty army invaded Scotland in search of the legendary haggis. Well, it's been had. It's been had. Rest in peace, all my Scottish viewers. The oi, good day, lad, kitty. That took a sec to process. That was a top tier one. Barrel, you get points for that one. You know what? I'm going to host like a pun contest. I'm just going to embrace the pun thing at some point here. And I'm going to host a pun contest. I'm going to award you channel points. Or I'm going to award you raffle points for it. Oh god, the raffle! I forgot about the raffle. Let's start the raffle right now. I'm going to end the raffle early. I apologize for doing this. The raffle! Oh no. I need to put it on a timer, but Streamlabs doesn't have a native timer for it. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay, it should be good. And go. There it is. Okay. It's going to close by 4 o'clock today. I am so sorry. My brain is very all over the place. So you will not have the full time to commit to it. People don't really do it late anyway. So I wouldn't stress the details, but make sure you get your vote in before the raffle ends, okay? And if we're a little late on this stream, then I guess we're a little late, right? Who cares? I fear to know what will happen if Pyro manages to win the raffle. But I suppose we'll approach that when we approach that. Okay. So that is our new boy. We put all this back together. And I go ahead and push these guys down and in. And how many was there? There was 32 men. This is perfect. We have enough per row. That's a problem for future you. Honestly, it's kind of how I live my whole life. There he is. Okay. Is that good enough? I feel like they're not long enough. I don't know if you could fit 32 men in there. You know what? I think it's a scaling thing. Check this out. We're going to grab you. .5. Oh, sorry. Nope. Negative 0.5. I don't know why the negative even matters, but sure. It's going to be negative 0.5 now. Where fits 1 fits 2. That's like an old, like, Confucianist saying. Where fits 2 fits everyone. More Confucianism for everybody. Mr. Six, I didn't know you were so religious in nature. Oh, now we're getting there. This looks a little better. You would definitely hit your hand. Just think about this mechanically. You're going. There's a bar right in front of you. Do I ignore the bar? How am I ignoring the bar? How am I going to push that bar? Huh. I'm not sure. That's why you need V-shaped ropes. You know what? We're going to shrink this down just a little bit. I actually don't understand the mechanics of how this works. You're going to draw it in paint and send it to me in chat? All right, I look forward to it. Mechanically, I don't understand how this works. So hear me out. I'm going to really overthink how battering rams work for just a moment. But like, let's look at this picture, right? You got a battering ram. Here it is. You have men packed in here. How do the guys on the outside push the battering ram forward? Like, how do they operate this? Do they get out and go on the back? Do they run out and start fighting? What are these guys doing? This guy can't reach over this guy and barely touch the log and push it along the wood. What is he doing? What is this guy's job? There are hurdles on the ramp. No, I know that, but like, you can't reach them. This guy can't step forward and this guy step backwards. There's not enough room for all that. What is this guy's job? What is he doing? Okay, so this guy sucks, by the way. He's just taking a free ride. I didn't notice him until this very moment. This guy and this guy can step out and push along the back. What is he doing? What is he doing? Especially, what is he doing? The position of the ram men was rather dangerous. Not only was the ram a high priority target, but if the breaking of the gate was successful, you had to face the defender after being exhausted due to the whole gate breaking business. So half the guys in here don't do anything. In any working group, I'm the guy with the sword. I really don't think, like, specifically, this guy is the most useless guy. Yeah, they push the cart, but then you get to the door, and then what does this guy do? This guy right here, what does he do? He just sits there and waits for the door to be broken and then runs in? Because clearly that's the only thing that he can do. You know what? I'm not going to think too much about it. Fights? Yeah, but you're not fighting when the battering ram is happening. You have more. This is not your whole troop. I think I'm going to say that this is okay for the time being. Yeah, this will be fine. We're going to keep it just like this. I like this look. They had to work synchronized for maximum effect, but that doesn't answer the question. That doesn't solve the problem of, like, what are they actually doing? I think they have slightly useless jobs. Okay, I've been sent a pic in Discord. Let's take a look at this picture. I'll be very interested to see how this works. I don't know what to expect from Pyro anymore. Pyro's a loose cannon as far as I'm concerned. Oh, Pyro, we're 100% going to do that. Okay, so here we have the first little piece of dissent that I have. If there is a rope... Okay, so Pyro sent me a picture saying that there should be a rope here in a V instead of straight down. I agree 100%. No, I didn't get it wrong, Pyro. Or I didn't get it wrong, Beryl. Bear with me. If there's a rope on the ram and you grab the rope and pull it forward, you don't move this efficiently. These guys who are pushing the thing forward are not pulling the rope. They're pushing the cart forward. Right? I'm actually realizing why the handles are lower now. And it's actually driving me nuts. I've done it wrong. I did it wrong. It needs to be lower because they have to lean down because they lean back up to push this. That's why they're hunched over. I was wondering why they're hunched over. because that seemed like such a poor design decision. I'm keeping it. I don't care. I'm going to keep it as is right now. We've gone too long to think about this. So now we're going to add the chains. The chains and the handles. Yeah, we're not doing single ropes. Single ropes are stupid. Pyro, I agree with you. The chains are definitely the better way to go about this. So let's make some chains. Chains are going to be the answer here. We'll pop on a little bit of guys. So how do we want to do this? We want to throw some chains around the bottom of this, or we want chains going in a straight line from holders on here. Yeah, the holders is the way to go. So let's make a handle first. I'm going to make a handle first, and then we're going to make the holders for the thing afterwards. The outer row of men keep the ram still while the center was rocking it back and forth. I can live with that. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I can live with that. I'm definitely not wrong to put handles though. Like they didn't grab the chains. Yeah, so we're gonna connect the chains right here. We're gonna do really shallow chains. And how many chains are there? There's one in the middle, there's one on either side. This one has 2. This one has 3. This one has 3. So 3 is the consensus. So we're gonna put them right where the wheels are, so you can follow where the chain is to know that you're not hitting your foot against these wheels. It's exactly how we're going to do it. We're going to match the wheels. Okay, perfect. Let's do it. So let's make chains. First off, I'm making a handle. Let's make a handle. I'm going based off of my own personal preference on this one. So here is what a handle is going to look like to me, and it has to be replaceable, because when you make handles like this, you're going to want to... when you're making handles like this, the thing is you're going to have to replace them a lot. So to try and attach them with a washer and stuff, they're not doing that. They're not doing the whole washer business. You're just doing like that. That's the first part of the handle, and then we come down like that. More than that. You can also use ropes like in the next pic I sent you. Pyro, I love you being my dramaturge. Pyro, you're very giving. You're a rowdy boy, and I appreciate that about you. But you're also very giving. You're quite a giver. Anybody ever told that to you? You got 54. Okay, let's merge at last. No. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you're a giver. Okay, that is going to be my look. We're going to go ahead and round out a few of these angles, and then I think we're good to go. Actually, we're going to round them out separately. When I was young, I was into medieval engineering. Oh, I am currently into medieval engineering. As we speak, I am into medieval engineering. There's a guy on the inside of this, isn't there? Nope, it was just wrong. I can live with that. I think I want to round this out as well, so let's use a subdivision just to see what that's going to do for us. That's perfect. She's perfect. Okay, let's do that. Let's throw a little bit of a catch on there so it looks like it holds its weight well. We'll fix it up. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Oh God, what a tough question. I'd like to know everybody's answer to this. Where I see myself in 10 years. So I want to start a company. I hope I can start a company in 10 years. Otherwise, I guess maybe that'd be difficult for me to start a company later than that. Graduated is a great answer. I want to start a company pretty solidly. That's going to be number 1 on my list. I see myself not living in Florida anymore because I'm kind of over the whole Florida thing. I see myself having purchased a house and owning a greenhouse and hopefully taking daily bike rides and working towards whatever I got to do to make my company a reality. I'm going to say that's probably the main goal for me. My main goal is to blow up. Okay, we're going to say that looks good. I see myself on a hill of skulls next to the throne of bones of corn. I liked Freak on a Leash. I hope to be enjoyed in a field that fulfills me. Oh, employed. You should also be enjoyed in a field that employs you. Because that way people actually like you. That's... You know, when I was young, I sort of lived under the pretense that I didn't care if people liked me. Hey, fun fact, that's a bad way to live your life. You should definitely care if people like you or not. It definitely matters. I meant God of Blood from Warhammer, but that works too, I guess. You got it. I was being funny. I was being a little joker. Yeah, I don't have a lot of plans for 10 years from now. I am writing a book right now. Surprise, surprise to nobody. I've been writing this book for a while. I've talked about this before on stream. But I've been writing a book for a really long time. And I'm hoping that in 10 years, I will have finished a few of my books because I have a couple ideas for books. And I'm hoping to finish a few of them and hopefully go down like the hardcore publisher path. Along with the other goals that I have, the millions of other goals I have. So I guess writing a book is probably like the most deterministic thing that I want to be doing in the future. Everything else is kind of like, I'm going to do my best. I disagree. I used to care a lot if people liked me and it only hurt me. What I mean by that is you need other people in your life to care about you. You need support from people. You can't do it by yourself. The world is too difficult to get by on your own. And I feel pretty strongly about that. Looks pretty good. Dare I say I like this. Care of people who matter like you. An a-hole on the internet isn't worth your time. Exactly. Now, which one I am, I don't know. Still working that one out. Okay, that's not a terrible looking handle to me. That, I think, gets the job done. The one thing that I think I will add is I'm going to grab this and I'm going to bevel it like that and pull it back just a little bit more to try and really get that rounded out the way we like it. That's pretty solid. You're an a-hole that matters. About time I got the validation I was looking for. That looks all right to me. Now, here's the big one. Here's the kicker. Here's the one we've all been waiting for. We come up here, and we go ahead and extrude out a little normal, and we push him in. And then he looks crazy weird. Oh, whoops, my bad. Sorry, I messed up. Remember that you can't predict based on one spoon of water of an ocean that the ocean doesn't have people who likes you? I don't know if those were wise words or not, but they spoke to me. Something was said on this day. We're going to do a little SZ0, make that nice and flat on top. We got a weird little peacock-looking guy, which I kind of want to lean into. So now I'm thinking woodpecker. How does a woodpecker sound for the front of this guy? I definitely don't have enough time to finish the woodpecker. But a woodpecker could do it. You guys are fine the way you are. We are all imperfect in our own ways, for sure. Woodpecker sounds like tick, 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 tick. How do we feel about a woodpecker, though, for the battering? I think I'm in on the woodpecker. No one is perfect except for my mom and dad. We have a suck up. We have a suck up. Oh, it's a woodpecker. I'm doing a woodpecker. Sorry to anybody who wanted something else. I'm doing a woodpecker. And you know what? This is going to be a 2-day task, actually. The more I'm looking at this, the more I'm like, this is a 2-day task. I'm doing this next stream. This is specifically why I do not predict what my streams will be anymore. Is for moments like this. I'm doing the woodpecker next stream. Woodpecker really got me gypped on the whole animal naming sort of thing, huh? Animal naming thing? What is that? What's the animal naming thing? Oh my god, he's perfect. Oh my god, he looks perfect. He looks so good. It's a woodpecker. We did it. What? All right, well, that worked out somehow. I don't know how that worked. Woody woodpecker? Junie, I don't know what you're talking about. What's happening? What are you referring to? Like, I know you're talking about Woody the Woodpecker, but what's the animal naming thing? Is that something that, like, is in the know that we don't know about? There we go. There he is with a nice little ridge on the inside of his eye. Like animals being named dog, wolf, care. Oh, yes, 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 yes. The woodpecker got gypped? Why is that? Why do you think the woodpecker got gypped? Oh, this just feels so good. I know I'm like taking my time and I'm slowing down a little bit, but honestly, this is like the best thing I've ever seen. I'm having such a good time looking at this little woodpecker here. This has made my whole day. This has made my absolute whole day. And then we just want to remove these little bevels here. I don't even know why there's bevels here to begin with. It looks so good. Okay, I've lost it. Pathfinder kobolds are so ugly. I do not like kobolds in general. Looks good. Hey, Mr. Six, thank you very much. Very appreciated. I think we're done here. Okay, that's him. So for anybody that's not understanding the sauce right now, because I have kind of been going off in the middle of nowhere for a little bit, we're going to grab this guy. Check his distance. His distance is Y is that. We go to here. We hit Y on the exact same. We push this guy down. And that is the holder for the log. So that's the part that you actually, like, push. Okay? That looks great. That looks great. I have such a weird niche. I don't know why I've become so niche on this, but you know what? Niche is fine. We're going to take niche. We're going to go ahead and copy our modifier, and it didn't work. Oh, actually, modifier really didn't work. Okay, so now we just want to copy the array here. And we have to have 4. We're not allowed to not have 4. We have to have 4. So the array is -11 by 4. I remove the tent. And then we just go until we get something we like. So let's up it to -22, and that's definitely not going to be enough. We're going to go -33. It's close. -35. It's really close. -36. Looks perfect enough for me. We're going to take that. And then we go ahead and we throw on the mirror modifier. And this is our log. We go back to this. These are ram grips. We'll call this frame grips. And we got a mirror modifier going across the logs. There we go. Done. So, the reason why I made them woodpeckers, the reason why they look like this, is that's where the chain is going to go. So the chain connects to that little eye hole. Oh, we have weird connection. That was weird. My connection just dropped for just a second. Sorry if anybody got any lag. Need to save my points and add a command, but I always spend them by asking questions. Well, I really appreciate you spending them on asking questions. You saying that makes me think maybe I should lower the cost of some things. Which I've never thought about doing before, but why not, right? If you want to ask more questions, I don't mind more questions. So maybe I'll lower questions by 100. Just for you. Just because you said so. Also, I'm looking at this, and -11 is definitely not enough, so we need more. -14 puts you perfectly in the correct distance here. Yeah, -14's it. I like your questions. They help me put my mind on something and get talking about something, which is the #1 goal of streaming, is to find a topic and just start rambling about something. And you do a lot to help me do that, so I really appreciate that. So I wouldn't mind making that easier for you. Okay, so I'm going to say that's not terrible. We got about 15 minutes before the speed sketch. Sorry that I started the raffle late. Any last-minute rafflers, feel free to jump in. It is 10 points per raffle. Subscribers get 3 for free on their first purchase. So all in all, not a bad deal. Okay, so this is our guy. Done. I mean, he's not done at all. Oh, I wanted to make arrows. Let's put some arrows in them. We'll do the arrows as a separate collection. If you color the ram pink, you can have a wiener ram. Oh, man. What to do with you, Pyro? You're going to get bonked. You get a bonk. Yeah, hot dog. I knew you meant hot dog. Sure. Sure, sure, sure. Arrows. Okay, let's make some arrows. So an arrow looks like a good arrow is a cylinder of 24. Sure, why not? I don't know why I can't picture size correctly. Whenever I do scaling stuff like this, I always get really confused. Like, that's the correct scale. But then it's too long, and I shorten it. And then I go, well, now it's too thick. You know what? I'm going to accept it. It's fine. It's fine the way it is. Now, arrows, they have the 3 quills off the back, and then they have the arrowhead. Yeah, what's up with your name, Pyro? What's your name about? What does your name mean? Okay, let's make an arrowhead. Arrowhead's nice and easy to make. Pop them down to size. Get them nice to the size we want. Push you on up. And what we're going to do is make a nice leaf-tipped arrow. So, an arrow looks like this. Boom, boom. This is what arrows look like. Cue the part where I make a bad-looking arrow. Okay, center, 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 center. We're going to wait to do that one until I get this part scaled correctly. I was once interviewed by my friend in a local newspaper and was called the local pyromaniac, so I came up with it like this. Okay, I need to hear more about this. Why were you a pyromaniac? How was this determined? Have you always been a pyromaniac? Is that just a nickname? Or are you not actually a pyromaniac? I have so many questions. What makes you a pyromaniac? Actually, before we do that, go back, grab the whole thing, squish them on down. Get it looking like a real good arrow before we get into this. Now, we grab this, and we do an inset like that. And then we go X-ray, and we grab you, and send you to last. Send you to last. And then we can pop these guys down just a little bit and make that little cup. Although I probably want to cup at the opposite angle, but I don't hate the way that looks. I'm a chemist, and I was making gunpowder rockets, firecrackers, smoke grenades for the local airsoft club. I mean, that sounds kind of reasonable to me. That doesn't sound too weird. Was everybody concerned about this, or was this like cool? Was everyone in on this? Because that sounds fine to me. Doesn't sound like that big of a deal. Okay, so that is a leafed, a relatively nicely leafed arrow. The tip there is kind of bad looking. I should have done the opposite angle if I'm thinking about it. But I'm going to take it as is. We accept little mistakes here and there. And you're also not going to see this arrow tip probably at all. So I think I'm not that worried about it. Okay, let's go ahead and make sure that we throw on a single subdivision, Just one. When you get 20 pounds of smoke creating material set off and you get the smoke covering half of 2,000 people village. So I'm assuming people were worried based on that response. I'm going to say people were definitely worried. It's a cool story, though. Hey, Pyro, do you mind sharing how old you are? Is that too TMI? Or would you like to share that with us? Because I think that would be really eye-opening. 29. Okay, you and me are basically the same age. Basically the same age. I love that story. It sounds like the kind of things me and my friends would get into, too. I love that. Do I like this? That's not a terrible looking arrow. It's not a great looking arrow. Okay, so let's say we want to take this one step further to the edge and I'm about to break. That's not going to work. If I take it upon myself to subdivide each of these... Hey, Saf, thank you for the hydrate. Very, very appreciated. Saf, you are, like, dedicated to keeping me healthy. It's honestly a very sweet thing. To everybody out there who, like, genuinely cares about other people, like, health, let's not, like, take that for granted. Even if you're being a little silly about it, that's a really nice thing to do for other people. I made a nitroglycerin in the forest, was help setting up moonshine breweries. I had part of a detonation of a World War II ammo dump. You had a good childhood. Yeah, it sounds a lot like my childhood. I'm not gonna lie. I did a lot of that same kind of stuff. We were rough kids, but we were having fun, which is the goal. Yeah, as soon as I turned 18, I agreed that I was going to stop doing the stuff that I was doing because I didn't want to go to jail. But up until I was 18, I went for it. Okay, so this is going to be last call on the raffle. As soon as I finish this arrow, I'm ending the raffle. I know everybody's probably already submitted points for themselves, but this is going to be the last call. There we go. That's about the right size for an arrow tip, I'd argue. It's got a little heart look to it, which is okay to me. And I'm going to add maybe another subdivision because I'm insatiable. That's pretty good looking. That's pretty good looking. Let's take that. The only thing I'm going to add is we're going to grab these guys, and we don't want a full run up to the end. You want the arrow to stop inside of somebody. Too fancy for your liking? Can't please them all. You can't please them all. Let's take it right there. Done. Okay, so now I'm going to throw the tail on here. Looks good, though? Well, I appreciate that. Even if it's not to your liking, I appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and round out this little bit, just like that. Give it even more of like a heart shape. There you go. Now she's dipped and ready to hit. Dipped and ready to hit. I'd put maybe a cuff on the bottom if I was feeling more crazy, but I don't feel that crazy. So we're taking it as is. Would be hard to mass produce. I mean, this is the medieval era. People are just going. But you are right. I should be a little bit more mindful of stuff like that. But this isn't... The arrow's not really a part of it for me. Okay, so we're going to make ourselves a plane. How do I want to do this? Plane comes back. Grab ourselves that. That'll work. That'll do its job. Now we bring it on down. We flatten them out, which I will do manually because I have a really good idea of how to fix this. Just like that. Boom. Arrow. Done. Okay, so we grab you. Pop you on up. Get up there. Right there. Okay, that'll do. We're going to do transparency and stuff through the texture work. I'm just going to use this as basically a card, so I'm not going to think too hard about it right now. But I should be able just to rotate it by 360 divided by 3, which is 120. And I'm going to copy the same thing. And we're going to rotate it by another 120. And there's an arrow. Nice and done. Is she sized a little weird? Yes, she is. Is she sized a little weird? Not anymore. Perfect. Arrow. Done. So I'm going to wait till next stream to poke a bunch of holes in this guy. Why 3 wings? Are they normally 4 wings? I thought arrows were always 3-winged. Are arrows 4-winged? How many wings does an arrow have? All right, since you've called it to my attention, let's take a look. Can you tell us a secret? You think 2. I think arrows are not 2. Also, I'm going to close entries for the giveaway. And we're going to pick an entry. Hello? How do I stop it? Hold on. The giveaway is still just running in the background, even though nobody can join it. Which is like kind of a shame because I just want to go ahead and give somebody the reward now. So let me make sure that works. Nobody won. I might... Okay, I'm going to manually do it then. I can do this. I've done this before. Okay, we're going to do some math real quick. So, we have 7 entries by one person, 18 by another person, 15 by another person, and 2 by another person. So I'm going to add all that up, and that comes out to 25, 40, 42. So we're going to choose a random number between 1 to 42. Okay? So I got Google's random number generator open. I'm not going to look at it, and I'm going to click generate like 5 times. Okay. Oh, it didn't work. Hold on. Let me show you what I'm doing. There you go. I'm on a random number generator. 1 to 42. I'm going to hit generate. 19. So whoever got 19 wins. Which would be Junie. So Junie. Oh, now I can pick a winner. What? All right, Mr. 6 and Junie. This has been a weird one. You all can either agree on a speed sketch, or if you suggest 2 things that I can reasonably do in an hour, I will do 2, since I messed up. So you two discuss amongst yourselves in chat. It's fine, publicly. You two chat, and we'll figure it out from there. And then we're going to look up arrows in the meantime. Well, that's the kind of arrow I wanted. Weapon. Yeah, Junie, are you here? They do only have 2, don't they? Why do they only have 2? I never thought about that. I thought for sure arrows always had 3. They have 2, don't they? That is weird. Splitting a stick in 3 would be hard. That is a really good point. I've never thought about that. This one has 3. Okay, let's do 2. I'm okay with that. All right, Mr. 6, you can start thinking of what you want your speed sketch to be. And if Junie jumps in, we'll grab on Junie. But otherwise, we're just going. Okay, so let's go ahead and make it 2. That is so weird. I've never thought that it should be 2. Yeah, try and make it as relevant as you can, but anything is possible. The amount of organic shapes that people want me to make is what it is. But I would ideally not like to make an organic shape. Okay. Modern arrows are not split and wings are attached and curved, so they spin and stabilize during flight. That's very cool. But yeah, this is not going to be a modern arrow, so I'm not worried about stuff like that. There we go. That'll do. And now we're just going to go ahead and add a mirror modifier. Can you do a crushed armor? Wait, you're telling me 3 is better? No, I'm doing 2. I'm not changing now. I've already gone this far. I'm not doing it. Crushed armor is difficult, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like, if you really want me to do crushed armor, I'll give it a shot, but it's gonna end badly. Arrow pull? I don't know what I'm gonna call this. There we go. There's my arrow. Perfect. So let's just say that's it right there, and we're gonna move on with our life. Shaft. It is called a shaft. If you want me to do crushed armor, I'll do crushed armor. It's not going to be that great. Arrow wings. Arrow shaft. And we're going to worry about the arrow next time. So get rid of you. And we can get rid of all of this. All right, let's do some crushed armor. So we can close all that out. And we're going to do crushed armor. What do we count as armor? How loophole-y can I get here? How far down the rabbit hole am I going to go of what is and is not armor? Is a shield armor? Because I'll break a shield. A shield I can do. Okay, what are they called? We want a breast piece. That's definitely the hardest part to make. With a skeleton inside? Okay, I'm definitely not doing a skeleton. I'll put that out there. What am I looking for? I'm looking for like a teardrop. What are they called? What is this thing? Oh, it's just called a teardrop. Yes, it's a teardrop. Okay. I was thinking about a breast piece, but you do you? All right, all right. You want to see a breastplate? Let's do a breastplate. You need a name for an RPG character. All right, I'm great at naming things. Can you throw some details at us? I like the nipples on that one. I don't know if that's against TOS or not. What's the nature of the RPG? What are we playing? Oh, also, I want to make one of these. Okay, we're going to do this full set. That's actually not a terrible looking breastplate right there. Okay, what's the RPG? What are we playing? Roguelike. Okay. Let's start with race. What races are available to you? Actually, the more I'm looking at this breastplate, maybe it's not going to be the hardest thing in the world. So there's that. Typical? Okay, so elf, orc, dwarf, gnome. Okay, so we got ourselves a breastplate. Oh, tiefling. For sure. Play a tiefling. I'm not the only one deciding. Everybody else in chat, please give your opinions. But a tiefling screams to me. Tiefling is a screaming answer for me. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and make a plate. You say orc? I like orc as well. Orc is cool. Okay, we got 2 votes on tiefling. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 there. Grab you and pull you down. Grab you, pull you way down. We're going to mirror this, actually. So let's mirror it first. So tiefling, what class should it be? I mean, the one that sings right away is a tiefling warlock. But that's a little conventional. It's a little boring. Yeah, what classes are there? I have opinions on Bard. I have unpopular opinions about Bards. People don't like my opinions on Bards, which is fair. Okay, you know what? We're going to leave that as is for the time being. No creatures to hump, so don't worry. Okay, there we go. Tiefling Bard. No! The Bard won! You can't win every battle, honestly. You can't win every battle. Sometimes the Bard has to win. Okay, so let's do that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that's a breastplate. Francisco. Francisco. That's such a funny name. How did you come up with that? Oh, I love that name. How did you come up with Francisco so quickly? There's no way. Mr. Six, you had that on the ready. Boom. Okay, so that is the armor. Made to fit, as they say in the old World of the Warcraft. It's a real name? I know, but it's a funny name. It just came out of nowhere. I would never have thought of Francisco. I can't even say it correctly. Okay, so that is the beginning of a breastplate. Sure. And then it's very, very flat on the bottom. Like that. It just has a bubble that comes out right here. So that's a breastplate. It's very funny. I love that name so much. Okay, so there he is. Let's look at our mesh. And what we're going to do is now sculpt him. So we're going to put on X origin whatever sort of stuff. And I'm just going to push into it. We're going to hammer out as if we're making a real breastplate. So let's say that looks all right. Get a nice little spike right up front. Wait, what? Oh, I guess we're coming this way then. Never mind. That was a weird optical illusion. That was one of those weird ones where you like have the vase and the vase is coming towards you instead of going away. Okay, let's do this. Nope, don't do that. Huh. That flat edge really doesn't want to hold now, does it? Okay, so we're going to pop this up, and then I think I'm going to try and, like, really edge out that guy right there. But otherwise, I think we're good. Okay, now we can go ahead and grab this and push you in. Not quite that crazy. Now we round all that out. How is this for a breastplate? It's somewhat usable. Huh. Nope, don't love that. Go back. There we go. That'll do. That'll do. It's cool? Well, thank you. I don't know if it's great, but it does work. It is a usable breastplate. And we have that little ridge right there, but it's not feeling very good. And he doesn't want to move at all anymore. He's actually mad. Please move back into place. The like, my averaging doesn't even work anymore. Please, go down. Okay, well, I can't get this little piece to go down, so we're gonna have a little spike that sits right next to your neck, which is, you know, good plays for a knight. This is not working. Okay, well, this got worse and worse and worse as we went. What did you miss? I have been making a battering ram and a really terrible looking breastplate here, but I guess it is supposed to be broken. So maybe we'll just call it as a broken breastplate. But this is what you get when you try to get me to do crazy organic shapes. As per the norm. It's always something. Yeah, look who's here. Okay. Like, I hate to say this is my best attempt, but I think this is my best attempt. I'm pretty sure this is as good as I can do. So if we go back to edit mode, is there a ring around here that we can follow? It's not very good looking. Okay, so I think that's got to be my attempt at a breastplate. That does not look very good. The raffle was kind of won by Mr. Six and kind of won by Junie. But Junie was not here to claim a prize. So Mr. Six got it. I had to run the raffle late, and it wouldn't let me select a winner. So the true winner was Mr. Six, but I did a random number generator, and I got Junie. So kind of a mixed bag on that one. But Mr. Six it is. Okay, tell you what. I think I can sculpt actually the ends of this a little bit better if I know what I'm doing. I think I can fix this. There we go. There we go. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, get down. You're making my life difficult? When does anybody ever not make my life difficult around here? That's kind of you all's job, isn't it? I think I've come to expect that. I think this is just the life I live. Man, I don't spend a lot of time sculpting. When I first learned how to 3D model, I took the time to learn how to do every sculpt in here. But it's been a while. All right, let's go ahead and do this. The next time you'll ask for potatoes, honestly, the problem with potatoes at this point, the like real problem with potatoes at this point is they're kind of easy to do. Like they're really not that difficult. So doing a potato is kind of like whatever for me. That's sort of why I didn't like doing them. And I was also joking. So like if you recommend a potato, I'm not going to have a problem with that. But for me, potatoes are just too easy. It's not a compelling challenge. There we go. We got some chess organization going on in chat. Okay, so everything except for this edge looks good. This edge looks terrible. So I think I might just like decrease that edge and call it a day. So tell you what, let's go here. We're into edit. We're gonna grab half of this. Just a nice little half. We're gonna go ahead and just delete it. We're gonna go ahead and throw on a mirror modifier. And we can get going. There we go, just like that. We're gonna delete those faces, and now we're gonna repeat right here. This is gonna mess up a couple of pieces of geometry for me, but honestly, it is what it is. Am I gonna do the helmet? I guess maybe I will also do the helmet. I was saying I would, and then now I'm starting to regret it, but I think we'll just go for the helmet. There we go, just like that. And then now I can go back to sculpt, round out the last little bit of this guy. There we go. That's a breastplate. It's kind of a bad looking breastplate, but that's a breastplate. The one thing that I'll add is I'm gonna add a reverse crease right down the center. Just a nice reverse crease right down the center. It's not working. Oh, it's because the mirror modifier is turned on. My bad. Back, 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 back. Just like that. Turn off that mirror modifier. Now we do a reverse crease down the middle. I knew something looked weird. In fact, we're going to do a grab. Where are you? Where is it? Pinch magnify. There we go. A really steady pinch all the way down the center. There we go. Sometimes there's a double ridge like this. Like this. There we go. Now we put just a little bit of average on there, and I think we're looking good. Look at that. That's not a bad looking breastplate. I can live with that. Okay. I've done it. I've done as much as I want to do on this thing. So that is my breastplate. Done. It's only 22 minutes in. I can't say that that's terrible for 22 minutes. It's definitely not good. Let's make the helmet while we're here, and then I'll do all the matching material stuff. So, a helmet. I'm going to start with a cube. Grab that. Make sure we go up. Helmet, 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 helmet. Helmet has a lot of curves on it, so I think we're going to do a poly edit on this bad boy. So, what I want to do is this. When was the last time that you told somebody that you loved him/her? I have a couple of people that I tell that I love on the regular. So I would say, I think this morning? I want to say this morning. But if not this morning, then last night before bed. Definitely. But that's, you know, pretty normal for me. I think desensitizing the word I love you is really important. A lot of people get stuck in their head that I love you is reserved. It's a reserved word and you have to be careful with it and stuff like that. I don't agree with that. Words don't inherently have a ton of meaning until people assign meaning to them. And that does matter for like... It matters like when you're talking about like things that are somewhat serious, right? Like science or art or this or that. But ultimately, like, words are just a bunch of stuff that you say to express an idea. If two people have decided that they say they hate each other every time they like love each other, that's their choice, right? Like, and there's nothing wrong with them doing that. We can make an argument that maybe that's wrong, but like, yeah. Anyway, how did I get into a big spiel about this? I don't know. This always happens. Say you love people more often. It's good for you. It's a healthy habit to get into. There we go. That, I think, is going to be relatively what my helmet looks like. And we're going to go. Look at this little boy. And now all we got to do is grab another one of these and put the eyes in. And we have a helmet. Done. So if I grab you and I throw on a subdivision of 2... He looks pretty good. The eyes are terrible looking. So what we're going to do is go around there and make sure that we crease those to make those really harsh. It did nothing for us. So we're going to go all the way around. Put a nice strong crease on there. And then we'll go ahead and crease that last little bit when we're done. And then we're done. That should be it. Really nice and easy on there. I don't love this little scoop right there, but we can live with that. It's not the biggest thing in the world. In fact, I think I'll just go ahead and cap it right here, just like that. It's a little extreme to put an angle like that in there, but honestly, who cares? We got like a little duck-billed hat. And that's my helmet. Will it do? Sure. Why not? The only thing I'm going to add is I'm going to go to the back here, and we're going to flatten out a couple of these angles. So let's remove this subdivision real quick. Push all that back. Push all that back. Push that back just a little bit. Move these guys forward just a little bit. And these guys forward just a tiny bit. And then I think we are done. Also, maybe these guys should come in just a little bit to match that angle. I think that's a decent looking little helmet right there. The only thing I think we really want to change is grab all of these guys and scooch them back to get more of that sloped look. There we go. That looks like a weird helmet out of like a Star Wars or something. Wow. What piece of armor defeated Satan? The Hellmelt. That's pretty good. That is not half bad. There we go. That's my armor. Done. Armor made to fit. I kind of do love that one. It was terrible, but in like the best way possible. You know what? If I also crease these guys, is this going to matter? It definitely makes that harder. So we're going to make that down to like a 0.08. You know what? We'll keep it just like that. Sure, why not? He looks fine as is. And you know what? The front is actually not as round as I want it to be. So that's going to be the last change I make, and then I think we're done. So we want to grab these guys and pull them forward just a little bit. There we go. I can't hate that. I cannot hate that. That is pretty good looking. Okay. I'm going to grab you. I'm going to grab you. And we're going to GG you guys backwards to get that little scary angle going on. And that's it. Done. Okay. I'm officially done. So let's pop our battering ram back in. And this is the back. So we're going to go ahead and just rotate that by a nice 90 degrees. And put you straight into the ground. Okay, we got ourselves a little piece of armor that's sticking out like that. Sticking out of the ground. It got run over by the wheel maybe a little bit. Sure, that'll do. I'm going to throw on a plane. And the plane is barely going to touch the wheels. And the armor needs to go down into the ground a little bit. We'll try and make it muddy. I have a way that I can simulate mud, but it's a little challenging for me to get working, so I'm not sure if I'm 100% on the wood yet, or the mud yet. But if I can get the mud working, I have a really cool way to make mud work. So maybe the goal is to get some mud here. Okay, so that is our little guy here. What is the likelihood that a little helmet like this would be perfectly at the right angle? Probably not very high, but I don't care. If there's mud, then I'll do that. We'll sink it into the mud a little bit. Maybe not that much. Too much mud. There we go. That'll work. A little bit of a muddy guy, and then this little armor here. So let's go ahead and model some of this guys up. Okay. Why knights can't breathe? Because they need some air more. How dare you? Honestly, these aren't the worst puns for English being your second language. They're actually pretty good. I can't be that mad about it. That's for sure. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and cook some of these guys up. Trying your best? You're doing fine. Nothing to worry about. Don't take anything I say too seriously. It's actually pretty good. I'm just upset with how good it is. Okay, is there any reason that this would be Damascus? Probably not. But we're going to use Damascus for now because this is fancy. Okay, so we got some Damascus steel sort of stuff. We got the wheel and these logs. Let's take the logs and make the logs some oak. The wheel is also some oak. When we actually decide on a metal, the metal is going to strip around here, but we haven't decided on that yet, so we're not going to do that yet. We're going to go ahead and grab the Damascus. We're using the Damascus as a placeholder because I'm not about to sit here and model everything yet. And we're looking good. You know what I need to do? I need to fix up this texture, this wood texture. I need to fix it so it doesn't sit so obviously on top of things. I need it to blend a little bit more with itself. So that's my next goal, is to work on that. And then we have a stripped little log here. We're going to do that separate. So I'll make a little muddy ground texture. Muddy ground texture. This one's going to be rough and wild. Let's make mud. Let's make mud live on camera. What you want to do is you want to make the mud with decals of footprints in it. But I'm not about to sit here and make footprints. So we're going to wait on that. But I do want to put footprints maybe coming off of this thing. That'll be something I'm going to think about for next stream. So we're going to say that looks about right. And then we're going to go ahead and throw on a bump like that. We're going to do that. This'll work. Okay, so we got mud. We got a lot of mud. The one thing I hate about this mud is that it is not as random as I want it to be. So we're going to do two things real quick. I'm going to do a mix RGB. This is going to work. This is going to work really well. We throw in a noise texture. Oh, thanks, Windows. Windows just popped up and said, hey, nothing is wrong with your computer. Cool. You don't have to tell me that. Just going to put that out there, Windows. I don't need a reminder of that. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do some differences. That is mud right there. That's it. That's perfect. That is perfect looking mud. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to up the detail quite a bit. We're going to lower that dimension down. Get the really good bits showing. That is pretty solid looking. Now we up the detail to match. That is wonderful looking mud. Oh, she's perfect. We've done it. Okay, cool. So that's my mud. Done. Now, here's how we're going to make this work. We're going to grab the lower end of the mud and make water. So we're going to make it wet. So check this out. Thank you. I'm very proud of this mud. This is going to be the best thing of the whole sketch today. Now, why did that range not work correctly? Tell you what, I'm going to invert my colors real quick. Why should I have to do this? I don't know, but I think this is going to work. That should work. It does. Okay, I don't know why I had to do that, but that's what I had to do. Okay, so we have flat bits where the water is. So now I just got to color the water. The water is going to be transmissive. This is going to be just a wild ride for just a moment. Okay, let's figure out how we're going to make this work. So I need a white and a brown. So we're going to grab our brown and we're going to grab our white. I'm going to put you over here, and we're going to make this work. And if I make this work, I copy the map, and I paste the map. Yep, we're just about there. Okay, so it's just going to be like 0.97. Easy. Easy. We're going to do a constant, I think. I think I broke it. Oh, nope, we're back. Perfect. We got it literally perfect. Okay, so this is actually really easy. So all we got to do is hit a constant on here. Oh, Junie, that's okay. Junie, you were technically a winner, but Mr. Six was also a winner. So we went for Mr. Six's. So not a worry at all. Okay, this guy needs to be smaller. Yep, just like that. There it is. Okay, now we're going to lower some height data. Not that much. Actually, I kind of like it being high and crazy looking, but that's about as much as I want. 0.55. Cool. Okay, so let's make this blue, and then we're going to go ahead and do all of our final little bits. Let's make it like a gross kind of greeny. Okay, so we're going to do that. That's the color of the water. And now we take this and we choose all of our colors. So, first and foremost, we want transmission. So the water should be transmissive. And it is. Oh, it's perfect looking. Perfect. Cool. Now we want it to have roughness. Okay, so that's way too much. That's actually kind of gross looking. So let's pop that guy up and pop both of this down. What is the show about propaganda and design that happened in the 60s? The one that the cover of the guy is wearing a suit that is very dirty? The Mud Man? Okay. You've gone a little deep on me. Is that a pun? Or is this real? That sounds very real. That sounds like absolutely something that would have happened. Like, okay, you're not proud of that one. All right. You made that one up. I like that one. That one's pretty good. Shout out to the Banjo and Kazooie music. Shout out to Banjo and Banjo-Tooie, which is not a very good game, even though I remember it being one of the best games in the world. But it's actually not that good. Okay, here we go. This is actually a good use of my time here. You tried to make a joke with Mad Men? Color me not upset about it. It's not a bad joke. Okay, what does this look like? We get some really wet bits really close to it. So I'm going to go ahead and just darken that up a little bit. That's great looking mud. In fact, I'm going to do the exact same thing up here. What is this? This is 0.95. .95, and we will switch you to ease. Is this going to work? Doesn't want to work. We'll do it just like that, and then I'm going to take you and make you a little bit more on the green end of the spectrum. There we go. You do not want to come here. You do not want to be in this place. You know what? Never mind. I take it back. It's like too putrid for me. We're going to go back to the way it was. I can live with this. In fact, I might even put a little bit of a noise filter on here to make it weird. We'll see. Okay, so last but not least, we're going to want some sheen. Specular tint is high. That looks crazy good. There is no such thing as an insensitive joke. There is a risky joke that isn't funny. Not that there is a difference. But let's argue nomenclature. I think there is such a thing as an insensitive joke. I think people will disagree what an insensitive joke is, but the definition of insensitive joke, I would say, definitely exists. But I'm also in a slightly privileged position to be able to say that. So my opinion doesn't necessarily matter. Okay, look at that. That's mud. Did I say I was going to make mud, or did I say I was going to make mud? That is mud. That is good looking mud, too. You want mud, you get mud. Now, the one thing that I need to do is make a texture map and actually texture out like wheels and all that sort of stuff. That's going to be hard to do. Okay, that is going to be our little guy right there. Is there anything else I want to do to the mud before I model these guys? And I'm going to totally ruin them. Let's see who's the stickiest. If one person is feeling uncomfortable, I stop immediately. I think that's usually the right idea. I don't know. There's a time and a place for sensitive conversations, right? Like, people can't just be cozy all the time. But there has to be, like, warning or consent or... I don't know. It's important to read the room. Yeah, that's definitely, like, the most important thing. That's a difficult thing to, like, learn, too. And I'm susceptible of that. I mean, I've not read the room many a times in my life. I've actually had a long history of, like, just being a weirdo with stuff. So I get that. Yeah, reading the room is, it's a practice, right? It's just something you got to keep doing. I'm going to say that's it. That's literally the most perfect mud I've ever seen in my life. And you know what? Let's go full normal on this one. I don't normally go full normal, but I'll take a full normal. It's crazy good looking. That just looks... Oh, she looks good. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. I can live with this. Okay, so let's do these guys before I run out of time, because I only have 10 minutes left. Not that time actually matters or anything, but since we're doing it, we're doing it. We're going to call this Clad in Armor. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I want it high in the alphabet, and I want it to be nothing like I've ever done before. That'll do. Metallic at max. Roughness is going to be low, but then we're going to put additional layers on top of it. I want to cake mud on it, but I think that's not going to be a good idea. I just saw my camera do the lag thing, so I know it's happening. Clear coat, kind of important, I think. Clear coat may be more important than roughness. Yep. That is for sure how we want to do this. Okay, so now we want to take it and we want to scramble this guy up quite a bit. So let's throw on a noise. This is going to get weird quick, I promise. We're going to go like that, scale, noise to clear coat roughness. I don't see it looking that weird. That actually looks normal to me. What's going on? I don't see any difference whatsoever. I don't see anything. It looks the same. I don't see anything. Why is there no difference? Huh. I don't see any difference on it, so I guess we're gonna not worry about that. Let's go ahead and throw on some bumpiness to it, and then we'll throw on some, we'll throw on a little bit of mud, and then we're going to call it, and we're going to just assign it to the helmet and call it a day. Uncomfortable conversations are necessary so long as the necessity is there. We can have a very uncomfortable conversation about kinks, but I don't see it bearing any fruit. Beryl, I don't know what you're talking about anymore. Can you explain that one to me? That one threw me for a little bit of a loop. I don't know what you're talking about. I agree with the uncomfortable conversation thing, but what about kinks? What did kinks have to do with it? Or is this a joke about armor? Is this a joke about armor? Did you make a pun? I think you made a pun. We can have a very uncomfortable conversation about kinks, but I don't see it bearing any fruit. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't think that's a super relevant example, personally. Because I think talking about kinks is something that we would definitely do here on stream. Like, that seems like so up our alley. Seems like absolutely something we would talk about. What Tyler, aka Ty, always says when he is late and has to be Sonic, and is also trying to be Sonic? Ty me? You've whooshed me. Can you explain that one to me, Mr. Six? What the heck does that mean? What is productive in this situation, in your opinion? Because I don't think productive is the way that I assign the word productive. I don't think anything that we're doing here is really that productive, aside from me making art and whatever anybody else is doing on their computers. But as far as talking, I don't think we're having productive conversations. I don't think that's the point of what we're doing here. You know what? I'm going to use a Musgrave. I've been trying to make this work. We're going to use a Musgrave. The noise texture is just not accurate enough for me. I don't want to use another Musgrave, but I'm going to use a Musgrave. All right, get in here. Come here. Cynical. Mr. Six, I don't get that one. I don't understand that one. That one's too cerebral. No, it's fine. You didn't ruin anything. We're all having a good time here. Ain't nothing to be ruined. You know what? I'm looking at it now, and I think we can bypass that. And we have bumpy, crazy armor. Yeah, that'll do. And I'm actually going to lower the dimension. That'll do for me. Okay, cool. So let's copy this blue here. Just like that. And then we're going to get a dirty mud sort of color. That'll do. I don't understand what Sonic or Cynical has to do with that. Let's workshop that one. What does Tyler say when he doesn't want to admit that he's late for work? Whose time? Something like that. There's my first pass thinking about it. I think if we did end up talking about kinks, I think a lot of people would have things that they took away from that conversation, though. Like, I think that would be quote-unquote productive based on what you're saying. Like, I could see a conversation about kinks being productive in this chat. Because we're pretty, I don't know, random about that sort of stuff. Okay, there we go. And I remove the invert. Yeah, there's definitely a time and a place, but this stream is definitely an example of, like, we go crazy. Like, this stream is a madhouse. We lose our minds very regularly here on stream. I think we definitely just see it differently, and there's nothing wrong with that. There we go. Okay, now we got that all settled. This stream is the time and the place. I mean, I don't think this stream is like the time and the place to have any like real massive whatever, but like I invite chaos onto the stream constantly. Certainly I have embraced it. Let's do a B-spline and see what this does for us. That looks all right. That's not my favorite looking thing in the world, but that looks all right. I think I can live with this. Let's make it a little bit more red on this end. Almost rusty. Hello? That's not what I wanted. Okay, so now we have the clear coat roughness being incorrect. So we're going to invert that. And I think we're looking golden. There we go. That's a decent level. Do you want to talk about kinks? I like holding hands. Mr. Six is out here trying to win the hearts and minds of everybody. Doing a valiant effort of it. Mr. Six really out here fighting that good fight. Don't go talking about kinks at someone's funeral just because you think it should be talked about, even if nothing comes from it. Definitely. Not the best time to discuss necrophilia. I mean, it depends what was in the person's will, right? If the person had a very specific will, maybe it's time to talk about it. Oh, that looks pretty good to me. Your kink is being loved and cared for? Honestly? My biggest kink is definitely when I talk for an hour straight about something that's completely off topic and super random, and the person goes, "Say more," and they want me to keep talking. That's mine. That's my biggest one. That's the one that gets me going in the morning. Okay, so the only thing we got to do in this is we got to recalculate the outside normal. So what is this? Mesh. I think I did the normals backwards on the other one. No, I did it on this one. Perfect. Hello, we've done it. Look at that mud. Okay, write that down, write that down. With that being said, I think that's my crushed armor for Mr. Six. Mr. Six, how you feel about this? Does this satiate the desire? Does this get the job done for us? nice big stretch. That feels pretty good, honestly. I'm not disappointed in what we've done today. Is very good? Well, thank you. So, with all that being said, that has been the stream for the day. I'm not too displeased with what we've done. You know, I've come to realize I value shaders a lot more than I value geometry, which is not a good habit. But I think we did more in the last hour than we did in the whole time. Although this woodpecker, he's really good looking. I don't know. It's an interesting little thing we got going on here. So I'm going to continue this on Friday. I try not to make a habit of continuing things, but there's so much more to do. So we'll be back on Friday to finish this guy off. So I will see you all then. Ciao. Peace. Sayonara.